CCH Axcess Validate is a true cloud-based confirmation and validation solution utilizing blockchain technology to benefit auditors, client approvers, and financial institutions by providing an audit trail of all involved. What you see now is the landing page once you've logged into CCH Axcess Validate. Since it is a cloud-based solution, you can access it by logging directly into the site or through a link on the CCH Axcess dashboard. We have a list of all of our projects for which we've requested confirmations. We can filter by client name, project, client ID, year-end date, or the last time it was updated. In our case, we're going to create a new project, put in my client name, and give it the project itself a name. One difference between Axcess Validate and other confirmation products is this is organized by project, so we can have a number of requests within a project. Once we've created the project, it appears on our main page list, and I'll go in and actually set up my requests. So this is where we're doing the requests we need to submit for each financial institution. For each request, we'll have a client approver email address. Basically, the idea is the client approver is the person who has access to log into the financial institution site on the client's behalf. May not be the traditional, what we think of as signers for an account, but it will be the folks who have electronic access and can log into the financial institution accounts. You may have more than one. In my case, I just have one approver. As far as financial institutions, this is a multi-select list where I can type in the financial institution's name. I'll select them. We can add banks or financial institutions later as well. And then for each financial institution, we can have multiple requests. So the different types of reports and requests we can create for the financial institutions, give you an idea of what those are. We can do the traditional account balance. What this does, you request as of a particular date, and you don't have to have an exact account name. It could be something like checking, savings, but you do have to have the account number. So this would be probably what you are typically doing today, where you have to have the account number to request a confirmation for a particular account balance. With Validate, one of the differentiators is we can request balances for all accounts. So this means for a particular date, up to 24 months in the past, the approver can grant me access to all the accounts that the approver has access to using their online banking login. Say they have 10 different accounts. This will give me all of those in one request instead of me having to have 10 different account numbers for that request. So a much simpler process. Some of our other options here, we can also request account details. The same idea, we can do it for a specific account number, or we can request details for all accounts the client approver can access through their online banking login. What this is really good for is, say they have a line of credit they've never used or they don't use on a regular basis. Maybe they forget about it when they're putting together your list of confirmation accounts. In this case, it would pull that for us. We can also request statements for accounts. This allows us to request statements for a particular time period up to 24 months, may vary by financial institution depending on what they provide. We can also do the same thing for transactions. So I can get a list of transactions for all accounts or a specific account. And in either case, we can request those between certain dates, say 2 weeks before year end and 2 weeks after year end if I'm requesting, sometime after the year end date for which we're confirming. I've set up all of my requests. You see I've got 3 from one bank, 3 from the other. So you can add multiple requests per financial institution. That's no problem. You can also add financial institutions from here if needed, and I'll go ahead and send those. Once the requests are sent, what will happen is it's going to take us back to the landing page for the project, and we'll be able to see right now it's sending. We have completed, sent, drafts, and canceled. What we'll do is I'll show you what happens next. Once you have sent these requests, emails will be sent to the client approvers that you have identified. This is the email that they will receive. The auditor who requested this will be copied on the email as well. That way, in case you encounter that client response of, "We never received the email," the auditor can forward the email to them, and they'd be able to access it from here the same way. It tells them as part of your engagement, the firm name, the firm requests your authorization. It also provides the requesting auditor's email address and a hyperlink. So if they need to email you with a question, hey, why are we doing this? What's being confirmed here? They can simply click on that link and ask for clarification. From here, what they will do is they can either click on the button, or if they would prefer to copy and paste the link into their browser, so then they can go and approve the requests. When they click on this button, there is multi-factor authentication. It will use the email address for each client approver. It will send them a code. They will submit it. And it takes them into this page where it lets them know that we securely obtain data from your financial institution using Finicity and Plaid. Those are our trusted financial partners. These are what we refer to as integrators. They integrate with the financial institutions to provide the confirmation information back to the auditor into the platform. We do offer approval through either integrator. The idea here is perhaps something has changed, maybe an authentication protocol has changed at the bank and they've updated with Plaid, but they may not have updated with Finicity yet, or vice versa. I'll walk through one of these, kind of give you an idea what can happen. It says welcome, and it uses the email address for the client approver. There is a link here where they can forward the approval page to someone else if they need to. Maybe we've identified one person as the approver for a specific account, but maybe they don't have access to that account. They can say, oh, I don't have access to First Platypus Bank. That actually is someone else, and they can forward it to the appropriate person. When they're ready to approve, they click on either of these. I'm going to use the first one here. Process is the same for both. It takes you to a little screen that explains how this is used to connect. There's a link to their privacy policy, further information about what is being done and shared using blockchain technology. So the authorization to access the client information is provided directly to the financial institution by the client approver. This is happening as part of a direct integration with the financial institution. So here they would come in and actually put in the bank name to verify that we are confirming the correct bank. In this example, maybe instead of First Platypus Bank, it should be Platypus Bank because it's a local bank and the name is slightly different. So this is where the client approver is verifying the correct financial institution. They'll select it, put in their credentials to log in. This is directly interacting with the financial institution to provide the validation that they are the correct person and they're authorizing the transmission of this information to the auditor. So this is giving you a list of the accounts that information will be provided to the auditor. They can review that list and then hit continue. And then they can also review what types of data were being shared. They click allow. And this is all being secured using blockchain technology to verify that each party is who they say they are. Once they've approved it, you'll see the approved message here. You will also see down below a pre-approval. They can pre-approve future requests. So as the auditor, if I come back and create additional requests for this bank, they can be pre-approved, which means when I submit the request, it will go out and pull the information. However, it will email the client approver to let them know the auditor has made an additional request if they want to review it. And they do have the option to turn off the pre-approval if they want. The default setting is for pre-approval, but they can turn that off. At this point, we have the approval for both banks has been submitted and approved by the client. So we'll go back and show you what it looks like on the auditor side once you've received that approval. And you'll see up top we have the ability to filter by completed, sent, draft, or canceled requests. In this case, all of mine have been completed for this one. Some of these have a little triangle to let you know one or more accounts could not be returned, or there was something may not be exactly what we want. But we do have our list of requests here. When I click on those, it opens up, in this case, transactions for each account. In this case, this investment account, there are no transactions for it for that time frame that we specified, so there was nothing to return. However, the rest of these have the transactions in CSV format, so we can open these in Excel and look at what transactions have taken place. I'll also take a look at all of our other reports. So I don't have to navigate back to the main page. I can come over to the side and then switch over to say the balance for all of my accounts as of month end. I can expand all of these so you can see that, and gives us the requested financial institution, the approved, the last four of the account number, and then it gives us our standard confirmation information, such as the balance, the as of date, the requested date. You will also notice there is the ability to download transactions whenever we request balances for accounts to show how the balance was calculated. And we also have the audit trail for who requested the confirmation, who approved it, and when it was received. And you have the dates for all of those. Everything has been done appropriately, and we have our little certified audit trail there using the blockchain. You can also filter this. I can come up and say, I just want to see my loan accounts, and it will show me just those items. These can also be printed directly. So there's a print all button. You can print those directly to PDF. If you're using, for example, PFX engagement, you can print those directly into an engagement binder from here. To show you just the detail for account option. So this is where for debt confirmations, we have minimum payment due, principal balance, type of loan, all of that type of information. Any of the information the financial institution provides, you will see included in these. So you can think of each project as an audit. Within each project, you can have up to 30 requests. A request, as we saw in the one we looked at, you can have 10 or 12 accounts within one request. If a client has 10 different accounts, that still counts as just one request within one project. A little bit different than how other confirmation solutions are set up. This is CCH Axcess Validate, a cloud-based confirmation solution that provides blockchain technology solution for confirming financial institution balances for you and your clients.